Greetings and welcome to 3D Fat Loss. I'm Dr. Eric Kusher. It is recommended you complete your patient health information form prior to your initial consultation. Be advised this form will be reviewed in detail prior to your beginning the program. It is very important that if you're currently taking any medications that your primary care physician or any specialists that are monitoring you stay in the loop with the process here. It's not going to be long before you've lost a significant amount of weight and your needs for those medications may change. We need your doctors to be in the loop to make these changes on the fly when necessary. Please also note that even though we fully expect dramatic changes in your risk profile to result from the process, we are not diagnosing nor treating health conditions here. We will simply be co-managing our part of the process with your current healthcare providers. Now, let's talk for a moment about some other programs that patients might have tried to lose weight in the past. These type of programs are generally pretty good at getting weight to come off in the short term, but not very good at keeping it off in the long term. I have no interest in getting you to lose weight that you're ultimately going to wind up putting back on. I want the weight coming off, I want it staying off, and I want this to be your last stop. That's one reason we use all real food, not processed, packaged meals, shakes, and bars, so you can bring your new lifestyle habits forward to maintain forever. Now let's talk about some reasons that patients come to us to lose weight. Your health is the only reason I really care about, and this all goes to the way that we work here. Part of what we do here for new patients on a daily basis is a little bit of non-invasive testing on your home unit to give us a good handle on where your health risks are sitting daily. And the goal for us is to get those risks to come from wherever they show up on day one to wherever they should ultimately be, best case scenario. And when we've successfully made that transition, any other reasons that people come to us to lose weight besides their health, meaning subjective things like your clothes fitting better, the mirror looking better, self-esteem, confidence, these are all going to fall into place almost automatically. So you and we are going to continuously focus on driving your health risk down to land in the proper range, and all the other things will come along for the ride. They require no conscious attention on our part. Finally, let's talk about your commitment or motivation level, which is the final question on the form. This is a very important question because clients need to understand, A, the motivation or commitment to do this is the only thing that you need to bring to the process. And B, if we're going to do something together, we're not going to be doing it halfway. We're going to be 100% in, or it makes little sense to start. There's no halfway here. I also expect a similar mindset from our clients. Let's get the job done, or why bother? If you're fully motivated, you need to understand that we'll have your back through this whole process, and we're going to get you to goal weight, and much more importantly, we're going to keep you at goal weight for life and give you all the tools you need to maintain. Let's take the rest of our time together and get you a really good overview of our program and the process here. We'll do a little bit of comparing and contrasting to other programs that you might be familiar with, and we'll go into a few things that I'm going to be asking of you in order to be successful, and then a whole bunch of things that the team will give back to make sure that we finally get to your goal and, more importantly, stay there. Our process here is not going to consist of counting calories or points or any other measures of food going into you. We're not going to be pushing you into a gym today or asking you to exercise vigorously. That's exactly the type of an outside-in process that we expect from the other weight loss programs. They count calories or points going into you, they measure how much you burn during exercise and activity, and quite frankly, they do the math and they hope that you burn more than you consume. So in theory, you're going to lose weight. In order to get a different result, we need to take a vastly different approach. Our focus is going to be on the inside and working out, which means we're going to be focusing exclusively on your metabolism and your biochemistry right now. And the goal here is to change or transition those over from a fat storing state, which is apparently where you've been for some time, into a fat burning state, or a state of what we call sustainable ketosis, a very healthy state. When we transition you out the other side, your body is going to be looking for its primary sources of fuel in your onboard stores of fuel, which is your body fat, before it's going to be looking for new calories coming in the form of food. To get this to happen, there's a few things that we need to ask of you in order to be successful, Actually, 5 things. Number 1, I'm going to ask you to weigh yourself every day. I'm going to ask you to weigh yourself on your home unit, which has been provided to you, which has a decimal point, so we have some precision in our numbers. And I'm going to ask you to do that at roughly the same time each day, in the same clothes, or preferably no clothes. So we're comparing apples to apples every day down the line. Most of our patients who do this will either roll out of bed, step out of the shower, nude onto the unit, and get their numbers. Step 2 will include automatic transmission of all your data points daily. Simply touch your cell phone as instructed, and you're done for the day. This is a critical part of the process which gives me real-time daily oversight on everything that's happening to you. So, if you're transmitting your data every day and you're losing weight consistently at a good clip, the daily communication may be minimal. If, however, like most patients, you reach a point where you hit a plateau or a sticking point, as happens to every patient, and you're probably going to hit more than one. Now we're going to know at the same time you do because you're sending me your weight every day. So we're not going to wait a week or a month to fix these things. We're going to actually fix them in real time. We're going to see these sticking points. We're going to assess them. We're going to give you things to break through the sticking points immediately and continue heading consistently down towards goal weight with very little interruption. This communication process and this oversight, this monitoring and this accountability back and forth is a huge piece of what makes the process work as effectively as it does. We'll be with you every single day, every step of the way to monitor your progress and coach you as needed. Step number 3, as you probably expect, there's going to be a meal plan that's associated with the process here. The meal plan is very common sense. It's all built around real food that you buy at the grocery store and prepare yourself. And this is all by design because we don't want you dependent upon some packaged processed meals or bars or shakes. That's not the way to lose weight that you're going to maintain for the rest of your life. Once those tools are gone, you've learned no new skills, and that's where most people gravitate towards the way they ate before and regain their weight. The new plan is going to be built around proteins, vegetables, and fruits. So within those 3 categories, you're going to have a ton of choices and a lot of latitude, and we're going to give you several hundred recipes so you'll actually enjoy your food and you won't go hungry. And most patients have a really easy time sticking to the meal plan. For those patients who have a busy schedule, don't particularly like to cook, or cannot often find the time to prepare their foods, although we do want you to learn the habits of healthy eating by buying and preparing much of your food, 3D Fat Loss provides a complete line of health-conscious prepared foods consistent with your plan and mailed fresh to your home or office weekly for very reasonable pricing. You may order these meals at 3dfatloss.com. Outside of those 3 categories are going to be the foods I'm going to ask you to try to steer clear of, which are probably the ones you might expect. The pizza, the pasta, the chips, the soda, the wine, all the things that keep people coming to us every day. But most clients find that their cravings for these types of foods do tend to fall off pretty early in the process. And the reason that happens is that one of the first things we're getting done here is a rebalancing and a normalization of your blood sugar. If you're on anything like a standard Western diet today, even if you're not a diabetic, your blood sugar throughout the day goes into swings. It goes high, then low, then high, then low. When you're up here, you feel pretty decent. But when your blood sugar starts to bottom out, that's when folks start to get symptoms. First, they can get cravings for the wrong types of foods because your body's trying to pump its blood sugar back up. Secondly, many clients feel fatigue or periods of low energy during the day. This is when their blood sugar is bottoming out. If, over a short period of time, we can compress those swings down so your blood sugar is more level instead of gyrating throughout the day, the symptoms tend to fall off. Cravings will diminish, and most clients will find that their energy level will come up and stay there fairly early in the process. So they tend to feel a whole lot better pretty early on as compared to before they started. So number 3, stick with your meal plan. Number 4, for the 43-day cycle, I'm going to ask you to keep a daily journal for me. This is a little bound notebook that's part of your initial supply kit. And inside this book, among other things, are 43 separate pages, 1 page for each day of the cycle. And keep it with you and accessible because you'll need it to be logging certain things throughout the day for us. Simple things like the date, your goal weight, your weight for each day, which is likely going to change every day. You list all the foods that you eat throughout the day, specifically all the water that you drink. We'll be tracking this, and all the supplements that you take. And there's 3 supplements that come along as part of the program, which we'll talk about in just a moment. But the journal is a valuable tool, as it's a reference guide for you and I to go back to if we're 3 or 4 weeks down the road and we've hit one of these sticking points or plateaus. Part of what we'll say to you is next time you see us, which is every 4 weeks, bring that journal with you. We'll sit down together, we'll go through it, we'll pick it apart, we'll see where you might have fallen off the rails a little bit. We'll course correct if we have to, and we'll keep you heading down consistently towards your goal weight. You may also record much of this data on the app provided with your technology package. 5th and finally are the supplements which were just mentioned a moment ago. There are 3 supplements that we have formulated here to work hand in hand with our program. They're all in liquid form in bottles with droppers, and they either go in your water or under your tongue depending upon which dose you're taking. And they're all made without the use of any medications or hormones or caffeine or stimulants or anything that's ever given a single patient a side effect, a drug interaction, or an adverse reaction. We've treated thousands of patients and never had an incident, so they're very safe, but they do 3 specific things very effectively for us. The first one is a weight management formula, and all that does, quite frankly, is to accelerate the rate that your body burns fat tissue. So if you go on a restricted calorie program here or anywhere else and you don't have something like this working for you, the usual expectation in weight loss is that the client will be expected to lose about 1 pound of lean tissue for each pound of fat that they lose. It's about a 1-to-1 ratio. Statistically here, with the use of the formula, and we crunch the numbers consistently to make sure of this, we skew it over, so now we'll be losing about 80% fat and 20% lean tissue. It's not perfect, but it's a huge improvement. And it's very important because we do want to lose the tissue that serves very little purpose for us and is actually counterproductive, which is the fat. But we want to hang on to the muscle tissue because that will continue to burn calories for us throughout the process. The second supplement is an energy formula, and we use that because if you go on a reduced calorie plan and you don't have something to naturally keep your energy level boosted up, it's just going to be a matter of time before you begin to fatigue and your mood changes and your motivation falls away and you say no more of this. We don't see that here. Most of our clients actually report to us that even though they're eating a smaller volume of food on the plan than before, their energy level comes up and stays there consistently. And this is largely due to the energy formula. Third and finally is a detox formula. We use this during the 43-day cycle because from the second day of the cycle moving forward, your body is actually going to be burning somewhere between 2,000 and 4,000 calories every single day of body fat for its fuel. And any toxins that your body hangs on to right now are right inside that fat. So, as the fat burns, the toxins will slowly get released into the bloodstream, and the detox formula will serve to detoxify those into less harmful forms and ultimately help you excrete them in the urine. So, you will take these supplements for the 43-day cycle. You'll get transitioned into the fat-burning state. You'll no longer take them. You don't need them anymore. They're just for the transition phase. So let's take a quick step back and go through the 5 things again that I'm asking of you. Number 1, take your readings every day. Number 2, transmit them to us every day. Number 3, follow your meal plan. Number 4, keep your journal for the 43 days. And number 5, take your supplements for the 43 days. Any client who comes through this process with us that will simply do those 5 things will succeed every single time. We have virtually 100% success rate here. In addition to the few things that I ask of you, and all that I and my staff will do to make sure that we attain success and stay there, there are a couple of pieces of technology that are built into the system to make sure that everything we do here together stays objective and measurable. We guess at nothing here. Everything goes by data and numbers consistently. So let's discuss those for a moment. First is a little test called a body composition analysis, or BCA, which you will perform at home daily just by stepping on the unit as directed. This looks like a bathroom scale. You climb aboard, it interfaces with a computer, and at the end of the test, it gives us a collection of 5 readings that I need so we can build a baseline for you, so we have something to measure off going forward to continually assess your progress. These will be your body weight, your BMI or your body mass index, which is just a ratio of your height to your weight, your percentage of body fat. We need to know this continually because as we lose weight consistently, we need to be sure that we're burning the right kind of tissue, and this test will tell us that. Fourth is your level of hydration, very important number. For the reactions that have to occur to get you shifted into the fat-burning state, it's very difficult to do that with somebody who's dehydrated. So if you come back low on this level, it just lets us know that we need to pump up your water intake to certain levels throughout the process, and we'll be fine. Fifth and finally is a number called your level of visceral fat, which actually turns out to be the most important number to us. Visceral fat is a bit different than just cosmetic fat. It's a different composition. It's the kind of fat that usually surrounds and supports your internal organs. Men generally see it in the belly and in the sides, and the women there as well, and sometimes in the back of the arms. But the number's important because this is the number that, if it comes back elevated, correlates very closely to your risk factors for metabolic type diseases going forward. We're talking about things like high blood pressure, diabetes, cholesterol, heart disease, stroke, all data that we need to keep our eye on to keep our risks minimal. So, we want you to lose weight for whatever reasons you came to us for. We're going to continue to look at all 5 of those readings, but the visceral fat is the one that we as healthcare providers will pay the most attention to, and if that comes back elevated, our first order of business is to knock it down as quickly as possible, and all those other numbers will follow right along. The second test that we do is performed after you've submitted your DNA sample via simple, painless cheek swab, which is going to provide a number of insights based on a couple of specific targets. This is the point where we're going to dig into exercise a bit more deeply. Based upon the results of that report, we're not just going to tell you it's time to start exercising again. We're going to get very specific, and we'll be able to tell you exactly how much cardio you should be doing, how much resistance or weight training, to what intensity level, duration of workouts, how frequently you should work out, all specifics that are based upon your genetic profile and structured around any possible limitations you may have. Finally, it'll give us a nutritional status on you as well, which will allow us to suggest the right supplements for you, but again, in the proper forms and the proper dosages, so your body can metabolize them and utilize them properly, which again, every client does differently. So, at the end of our process here, every client will leave with a similar 43-day meal plan, but every single client's exercise plan, maintenance plan, supplement plan is going to be worlds apart because they're based upon your individual genetic profile. Weight loss systems that use this type of genetic testing are statistically about 2.5 times more effective at losing weight than those that don't. So as long as this technology has been available to us, we've utilized it on every single client. It helps to maximize our progress, and it's a very valuable tool. Please take this time to consult with the staff who provided this introductory video to you. They will guide you to follow the path that's comfortable for you. And if it's to come on board with us, we'll work with you every single day, and we'll do our very best to help you reach your goals and maintain them for the rest of your life. Please also be aware that the 3D Fat Loss Program is actually an online version of the Compass Fat Loss Program, which we operate in multiple physical locations. Therefore, some of the products you receive, testimonials you hear and see, or literature provided may interchangeably use both the 3D Fat Loss and the Compass Fat Loss names. Now let's look at some of our success stories.
Hey, this is Javier Colon, season 1 winner of The Voice, and I've lost 32 pounds in the first 43 days.
In the first 8 months, I was down 73 pounds.
75 pounds total.
84 pounds.
85 pounds.
Collectively, we've lost 95 pounds.
104 pounds.
116 pounds.
125 pounds.
Yeah, in 8 months, I've lost a little more than 130 pounds.
My name's Laura. I've been on Compass program for just over 2 years now. I've lost 100 pounds so far, but I truly have been grateful every moment of the day that I've done this. Well, since I've been on Compass, I've learned a whole lot about the grocery store, how important it is to circle the outside of the store, the produce section, the meat section, the dairy section. Those are the ones I basically rely on. I know which aisles I can kind of scoot down and get the things that I need. I've also learned to really read labels because it's amazing the things that they put in your food that you don't even realize you're getting until you read the entire label.
I definitely am huge at meal prepping. I began to shop for lean meats, grass-fed meats, organic products that were healthier. I read every single label that I could at the supermarket, and it was so, it was a big eye-opener to see that the unnatural ingredients that were in so many things that I was eating before.
That's the best part of this program, that it's all your own food. You don't have to take anything else. I'm not good with different things. I like to cook, I like to prepare, and I like to be adventurous with my food, and you can do that at Compass Fat Loss.
No prepackaged, no extra protein bars, any of that stuff. Everything we eat, we prepare ourselves, and you can get it at any grocery store.
Having taken 104 pounds off of my body and turning fat into muscle and, fuel has caused me to eliminate the pain 100%. No pain in my knees, no pain in my ankles, and all the energy in the world.
Compass works right along with my doctor, and with their help I've been able to cut my medications down. My metformin is completely gone, and I've cut my cholesterol meds in half, and hopefully my other meds will be reduced or eliminated also.
When I started, I was on 2 diabetic pills, 1 high blood pressure pill, cholesterol pill, and as of today, I take none of those pills anymore. My A1C when I started was 8.7, and my last one was 4.6.
One of the reasons I started was because I was taking a lot of daily medications for high blood pressure, for prediabetes, and I was actually on a CPAP machine. And I would say if I started in June, by August or September, I was off of all the medications, where I was taken off the CPAP machine. And I am absolutely very healthy. It feels great to not have to take medications daily.
My medication has been greatly reduced. I was a type 2 diabetic back in July of 2018. And I went from a A1C of 8.1. I am now 5.1. And I have currently gone off of cholesterol medication, and blood pressure medication has been greatly reduced. I feel terrific.
I mean, now I'm back to health, and that's what I came for, not just to lose weight.
I've tried many diets and nothing worked for me like this one does.
I'm so thankful that I found Dr. Kusher and the Compass Fat Loss Program, because it has changed my life.
I feel fantastic.
I feel great. It's been a life changer.
It's been absolutely wonderful.
Now that you understand our process and you've seen some of our success stories, let's take you through the steps that follow. First, ask our staff any remaining questions that you may have. If we're going to do any of this together at all, it's going to be predicated by your transmitting your data on day 1 and each day which follows from your body composition analyzer. Because it's critical for us to capture this data on you day 1 so we can work off of an objective baseline for you. So we have something to measure off each time you send data, and we can assess your progress by the data and the numbers, so we don't guess at any of it. It's also going to serve as a valuable tool at the end of the process, because all of those health risks will be coming down into range that we need to see them in, and we know that we've achieved your goal weight. Finally, let's talk about the payment process and the options here. We charge a single flat fee for the entire process. That's going to take us from today or day 1 all the way through, not just the 43 days. That's where the weight's going to come off at the fastest rate. But we may not be done with the process by then. So we're going to continue to monitor you every single day until we get you down to goal weight and beyond. The fee you pay covers daily monitoring for the initial 43 days, and then we'll continue to monitor you daily for an included additional 60 days. On day 104, you may choose to continue the coaching process beyond this for a nominal monthly fee, with the freedom to cancel at any time. And there are ways for clients to handle this. If a client cannot or does not wish to pay upfront, several convenient financing options are available to you. And if clients want to or need to build this into a payment structure, we'll do that all in-house for you. There is no third party, there's no credit check, there's zero interest, and it's quite rare that we can't build something that fits within a client's budget if they're serious about getting the work done. So, choose your payment option, let the staff know of your choice, ask any remaining questions of the team, and you'll be on your way. Let's take some action today and start to optimize your health and reduce your weight now.